Solipsism, what if only you exist? Solipsism, a theory that questions the very nature of reality. It asks one haunting question: what if nothing outside your mind is real? Every person you meet, every sound you hear, every place you've ever been, what if all of it exists only inside your mind? You might laugh it off or say it's impossible, but how do you know? How can you prove that anything exists beyond your perception? Before we begin, a warning. This idea can mess with your head. It's one of those thoughts that, once you understand, you can't unsee. So if you value your sense of reality, maybe stop here. Otherwise, let's begin. The word solipsism comes from Latin solus, meaning alone, and ips, meaning self. Together, they mean alone self. It's the belief that only your mind exists, that everything outside your consciousness might be unreal. The world around you, your family, your friends, your memories, could all be fabrications of your mind. Dreams that feel real, illusions your consciousness creates to keep itself occupied. Because how can you ever step outside your mind to confirm what's real? You can't. You can only experience reality through your senses, and all those senses are filtered through your mind. So how do you know your senses aren't lying to you? Think about a dream. When you're dreaming, everything feels real: the pain, the joy, the faces. But when you wake up, you realize none of it existed. Now imagine life itself is just another dream, one you haven't woken up from yet. Philosophers like René Descartes struggled with this idea centuries ago. He famously said, "I think, therefore I am." That was his way of saying, I can doubt everything, but not my own existence as a thinker. That's the essence of solipsism. It accepts that you exist, but doubts that anything else truly does. Every piece of information you believe to be real comes through your senses. But senses can be fooled by mirages, dreams, hallucinations. So if your senses are unreliable, how can the world itself be reliable? Now imagine every person you love, every word you hear, every moment you experience, all happening inside your own mind. Every conversation, every heartbreak, every victory, just your mind talking to itself. Here's the strange part. If solipsism is true, then there's no one else to convince. Because if only you exist, then I don't. This video doesn't. Even these words are just your mind creating them for itself. And yet, if you're the only mind that exists, why would your mind create suffering? Why create loneliness? Maybe because conflict and struggle keep the illusion alive. A world without chaos might feel too empty. So your mind invents others, people, love, fear, pain to give itself a reason to exist. Solipsism isn't something you can disprove. The moment you try, you're still using your mind to prove your mind wrong, which is impossible. That's why philosophers call it an unfalsifiable theory. It could be true. It could be false. But you can never know for sure. That's what makes solipsism both terrifying and fascinating. But maybe there's a light side. If the world exists only in your mind, then you control it. You create it. You define it. Every act of kindness, every dream, every moment, all come from you. You are the writer, the director, and the audience, all at once. And maybe that means you can shape your world however you wish. Because if reality is an illusion, then it's your illusion to live in. That's solipsism, the idea that only you exist, and everything else might just be a projection of your mind. It can drive you mad or make you realize how powerful consciousness truly is. Because if reality is only what you perceive, then maybe, in some strange way, you are the universe itself.